voices shouting through the night. Static hum that shakes the ground. Rift Nation rising loud, profound. Feel the fire, feel the fight. We're the shadows in the night. Crashing waves, we take the stage. Unleash the fury, turn the page. Steel strings, scream the truth we bring. Echoed chaos, hearts that sting. Electric veins that feed the roar. Harder, faster, crave for more. Dust and sparks ignite the air. Shattered silence, do we dare? Tidal force, relentless stream. We're the edge, we're the dream. Feel the fire, feel the fight. We're the shadows in the night. Crashing waves, we take the stage. Unleash the fury, turn the page. Rift Nation, hold the line. In the chaos, we align. Through the storm, through the pain. We're the anthem in your veins. Feel the fire, feel the fight. We're the shadows in the night. Crashing waves, we take the stage. Unleash the fury, turn the page. Rift Nation, hold the line. In the chaos, we align. Through the storm, through the pain. We're the anthem in your veins.
The engine is starting up.
For launch. GC. Go. Guidance. Go. Fido. Go. Prop.
Go.
GNC. Go. Max.
Go.
Eagle. Go. Ecom.
Go pending final steps to cabin link check.
2, 1.
Is there anyone here that would like to communicate with us? Can you give us a sign?
Welcome to the Rift Nation Network, the RNN, putting a slide in your glide and a dip in your hip. Welcome to the mothership, the home of the travelers of the universe. With shows throughout the week, you can find us at Instagram, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, and more. Everything you could want, everything you could need right here, right now. From the paranormal to the supernatural. From comedy to the spiritual. And now, your featured show. Shall we begin?
It's showtime, folks!
Podcast may contain material that some listeners may find sensitive, offensive, or disturbing. We strive to create respectful and informative content, but topics discussed may include mature themes such as violence, explicit language, or controversial subjects, triggering content including discussions related to mental health, trauma, or other sensitive issues, explicit language. Occasionally, our guests or hosts may use strong language. While we aim to handle these topics with care and empathy, we encourage listeners to exercise discretion. If you find any content distressing, consider skipping or seeking support. Remember that this podcast is not a substitute for professional advice. If you need assistance, please consult a qualified expert.
Hello, everybody. Happy Wednesday. How are you? Welcome to the Rift Nation Network. I'm your host, Joni Skinner, and we are streaming live on this Wednesday evening. That's right, Cindy. I watched it. Artemis is on its way to the moon. That, you know what? The only time we were allowed to eat in the living room when I was growing up is when the Apollo would, the spaceship would go out. And I mean, with me growing up, it was like, it seemed like it was every 6 months or something, another a rocket was going up into space. So it was pretty cool. So I was so thrilled tonight to see that, because those are memories that you keep as a kid. I mean, really good memories. So keep our fingers crossed on this pink moon that they make it up there safe. It's going to be, I think it's kind of exciting on a pink Libra moon. And you know what, y'all? Remember, if you were at the mini session on Friday night, we did a mini session on April's astrology. And I messed with the filter thing on the Zoom. And it said, do you want lipstick? And I'm like, oh, yeah. The computer will put lipstick on me, and I won't even have to fool with it. So I put this bright, I go, oh, this orange is pretty. And then it looked like a clown lips. And then I couldn't get it off. Well, to make a long story short, my computer went like black and white. So I can't get it off. And I'm not even on the same computer. So I've done something to something. So I'm sorry about that. So I'm coming to you in black and white tonight. I have no idea why. I'm going to blame it on the full moon in Libra. That's what I'm going to blame it on. But we are streaming live tonight on YouTube and Facebook. Please hit the like button and share out. I hope y'all are doing well. And I'm sorry I missed y'all last week. I've had a sinus infection since February. I don't usually blame things on the planets, because as an astrologer, I feel like you are in charge of your own energy. That the planet energy is just there to assist you. You know how to work with it. You know what it does. So, but you're in control. Well, I think this is the universe telling me to shut up about that, because long story short, your rising sign or your ascendant is your physical body, right? So in February, Neptune moved into my rising sign, which is my physical body, into Aries, because I'm a rising Aries. What does Aries control? Energy, sinuses. So it was like the same week that Neptune moved into Aries, and I haven't been sick in years. So I think I'm going to quit saying that, because I'm going to wait for Taurus season and see if the sinuses go away. So, and if you listen on the podcast, please, at least leave some comments on YouTube or Facebook that you've joined us. We are on Spotify, Apple Music, and on the Rift Nation Network. So welcome. I am a forensic astrologer, and every Wednesday night we look at mysteries. We look at true crime. We look at missing persons cases, like tonight's case with Ali Lowitzer, who went missing in 2010. And I've got a big mystery for next week, y'all. Check this out. We'll go over this. I'll say hi to the chat. And my computer thing my mouse isn't working very well. So I'm just having one of those nights. It's the full moon. Happy pink moon, Miss Cindy. Let's see if the computer works. Oh, it worked. Happy pink moon to you, hon. Happy pink moon. Hello, Adam. It took off already. I missed it. Yes, Adam, it took off around 6:30, and it was great. And it takes 6 days to get there, and it's 270 some thousand miles, and they're going around the dark side of the moon. Apparently, nobody's ever been to the dark side. Hello, Miss Denise. How are you? I saw we're getting storms, Denise. Y'all are getting a ice storm, maybe. So be safe up in Canada. Hello, Miss Lee. How are you? I'm gonna try to move this chat down. Oh, it's working. It's working. It's your good energy, guys. Yes, but you can watch it still. You know what you can do, hon? You can go on the NASA, Adam, go on the NASA website on YouTube. They're live streaming it. They are live streaming it. What a thrill. What a complete thrill for everybody. So, first woman in space, guys, or go to the moon. First, not the first woman in space. First woman to ever go to the moon. And I think they're just going to circle it. They're going to circle it and do experiments because they're going to build a space station there. It's going to be the Mars like rest stop. Who would want to go to Mars? I'll tell you. It's too hot. I'm good. I'm good. Hello, Miss Kathy. How are you? Hello, Miss Crystal. Miss Lois. How's everybody doing? We watch. Yeah. We watched one in the 70s when we were on family vacation. So cool. It was a thing when I was growing up. We watched and the Walk on the Moon, where they claim that some people say it didn't happen. I don't know if it did or not, but I remember watching it as a kid because we were never allowed to eat in the living room. And that was the only time my mom let us eat in the living room. Is when they landed on the moon. Or it was a fake landing on the moon or whatever. Who knows? Who knows? Yeah, that's it. Denise, filters and pushing buttons. I looked like a clown during the Zoom and I couldn't get the orange off my lips. We were laughing so hard. I couldn't, I don't know. I'm dangerous. I'm freaking dangerous. Freaking dangerous. Does Pinky cause crazy? No, it's the pink moon in Libra, and of course I'm a Libra, so it's making me crazy. It's not making me crazy. I don't know what it is. I don't know. Maybe it's the Benadryl. Maybe it's a Sudafed. Thanks, Renee, for sharing us out. I'm glad y'all are doing well on this holiday weekend. For an upcoming holiday weekend. I could never understand. This is my question, though. I don't know. For those of you that work, do y'all get off on Good Friday? Why do you only get a half day off on Good Friday? Why do you not get a full day off on Good Friday? I could never understand that. That's just one of those crazy things. I don't know. But this is what we've got. Ali Lowitzer's. Now, her case, this is a real mind-boggling case. And I was looking at it before the show, and this is how squirrel-brained I am right now. The one that I had set for the show, I looked at it, and I looked at the date again, and the chart that I had the wrong date. So I had to do the chart all over again, hurried up and threw it in the slides. And I'm just going to read it. I'm going to wing it. I've done enough of them. And I don't, just looking at her chart, did you ever get a feeling? And then when you get a feeling, I think sometimes you should follow that, I don't know, intuition or that gut feeling. And I had mapped it on the wrong chart. So, long story short, I heard a voice say, don't map it. Don't put it out there. Get it to your contact, because I'm doing this for a contact. And don't get it out there. She was being watched, and that's really in the chart. And so they watch. I know they do. I've been doing this for decades, and I know they do. So I don't really care who did it. I just want to find her for her family. Let the police do that work. I don't care. Yeah, they're going to see Renee. They're going to see the dark side of the moon. Yeah, I wonder if they're going to play like Pink Floyd when they get there. I did on Good Friday when I worked for the Catholic health system. Yeah. Well, it's just a half a day is kind of weird. It's kind of, why do it? Just take the whole day off. It usually rains on Good Friday anyway. Supposedly they're going to the dark side of the moon. They are going to the dark side of the moon. Renee has the full day off. Yeah, I've always gotten a half day off, but I'm taking the other half day off. So, well, let's get started, y'all. Welcome. I hope y'all are doing well. Hope everybody's doing well. Where's Miss Tammy at? Lisa, where's Miss Tammy? Is she all right? I know there's storms down by you guys. We just had a storm pass through here. So it's that time of year, blast us all out of here. So this is, here, I had some other things to do before we get to Allie's story. And I wanted to share this with y'all because when there's an angel, any young, beautiful young lady that is unalived, I always showcase and we always honor them and talk about their case. And Sheridan Gorman in Chicago is a college student, 20 years old. And a couple weeks ago, she was out to watch the Northern Lights with her friends walking around a lake area by her college. She was shot in the back of the head by this gentleman. And, this is why I don't watch these channels. Check it out. ABC had 1 minute coverage on her. CBS 2 minutes. And way to go, NBC, 23 seconds, her story. Well, here's her story again. He was arrested twice, deported 4 times, walked up behind her and shot her in the back of the head. So I guess that's why these channels they never cover stories for our angel families at 19, 20 years old, out with friends. So that's why nobody watches you all. I don't get it. He shouldn't have been out. And maybe that's it. But there's lovely little Sheridan Gorman. God love her heart. Student, going to be a nurse. All of it, it's like Lake and Riley wanted to be a nurse. We did her story. So I wanted just to kind of look her story up and, think about her family during this time. Family's furious. There's beautiful, beautiful tributes to her going around on social media. The town that she's from is really doing some wonderful tributes. Now, we covered, if y'all remember, a couple weeks ago, we covered General McCaslin, he disappeared, the UFO expert. He was a retired major general that worked out at Wright Pat Air Force Base, and he also worked at the base in New Mexico. UFO expert, space weapons expert, right? Missing. Well, he still hasn't been found. Guess what? He left we got a little bit more information on him. He left his glasses at home. His pistol was missing. And his walking shoes were missing. And wallet is missing. So as a couple weeks went on, guess what, y'all? 9 in the span of 9 months. 9 top level scientists in the United States have died or vanished without a trace. Check this out. 7 of them were connected to the Air Force Research Lab or the institutions they directly fund. Now, Monica Reza, who's pictured off to the left, worked closely. She went missing on June 22nd, 2025, hiking with friends in a national forest in California. She was last seen waving to a hiking companion approximately 30 feet behind the group, and they turned around again and she was missing. Only a beanie and lip balm were recovered, and her body was never found. She worked closely with General McCaslin, who commanded the AFRL from 2011 to 2013 and oversaw the government funding for her metal. She had discovered a metal that could be used in space. Okay. Now, Dallas Hardwick, her mentor and co-inventor, died on January 5th, 2014, apparently of natural causes. We have another gal, Melissa Casius. She's been missing. She worked on national security products at Kirkland Air Force Base. She's missing, right? I'm telling you, y'all. I mean, there's her missing. We have 3 others. We have Carl Grillmar, astrophysicist and an astronomer, shot dead on his front porch in California, February 16th, 2026. Of course, General McCaslin and Nuno Loureiro. Now, remember, he was the Portuguese plasma physicist who was involved in that shooting from the guy up in New York, MIT's Department of Nuclear Science. Then we have Jason Thomas, a chemical biologist, was reported missing on December 13th, 2025. Left without his phone, his wallet, and ID. He was found dead in a lake in Massachusetts. He was the assistant director at Lakefield, where the assistant director, they did chemical biology and chemoproto something. Worked for the Department of Defense. What is going on here? Okay. So next week, I'm going to let's chart them all. I'm going to chart them all. And we're going to see now, if you remember with General McCaslin's chart, bigger than life, it shows abducted in the second house, which he's the moon. He was abducted. 10th house would be career or government. I don't know, y'all. And then we've got Uranus, which would be a UFO. I'm going to have to put on my aluminum foil hat for this one. So, but I know they're missing. So I hope they're all found. But when do you get to your point where they're not a coincidence anymore? Okay, so let's get to Ali. We're going to cover all of this next week, and I'm going to dig more into there's 9. California. She was hiking in California, Cindy. He was in New Mexico, so they're right next to each other. Isn't it crazy, y'all? And I think that people are getting a little weird about it because, remember, President Trump said that they are declassing all of our UFO information here. Now, I don't know if my friends from Canada heard that, but that was, he is going to have that declassed, right? And a lot of weird stuff is coming out about, what it could be. We'll see. It's crazy. Yeah, and Denise is right. And the numbers continue to go up. What's going on? Or, you know what? I think people are just putting 2 and 2 together, Denise. You know how sleuthers are, true crime sleuthers. They just start putting 1 and 2 and 3 together, and they're like, hey, wait, look at all this. And a congressman, there's some more of the folks that went missing and were unalived. And a congressman said 9 is not a coincidence. This is something's going on with our top physiology or physio scientists, right? Crazy. Okay, let's get to Ali's story. And like I said, I screwed up her chart, so I'm going to kind of wing this a little bit, but that's okay. I can wing a chart. I'm not worried about that. I've done this for decades. So, but again, I was going to map this. I mapped the wrong chart. And then I thought, no, don't map it. It was just one of those gut feelings that said, no, you give it to your contact and let them get it to the family. And, you know, it too often people get moved. And I've seen it before many times. If they think that we can find them, or it happens. So Ali, this is in Spring, Texas, which of course we always put the little map up where it was located. And let me look at this beautiful little girl. Let me give you her story. Here's her missing posters. She was a phenomenal artist. Just amazing artist. And it's just so cute and friendly. And on April 26, 2010, so it's been a while, 2010, at approximately 2:30, she called her mama and she said, Mom, can I pick up my paycheck? And she was working in a place called the Burger Barn that afternoon. And this was a new job. And she had only worked there for a couple of weeks. And this was the first time that her mother allowed her to walk the path. It was a short distance. It was not a long distance and it was on a main highway, correct? So and she said, I'm going to pick up my paycheck and work in the afternoon. So the last eyewitness accounts of Ali state she was walking towards Treshwig Road, which is on the way to the Burger Barn. And like I said, this is a main highway. It's a busy highway. The last communication was a text message sent from Ali at her phone at 2:57 p.m. to a friend asking them to come over later that afternoon. And that was approximately 10 minutes after exiting the school bus. She was very avid on her phone. She texted now you talk about a little personal social butterfly, about 4,000 text messages a month to friends. And at 3 p.m., her phone stopped. Just stopped completely. She was artistic, loved to draw. Her mom still has paintings, listened to music, texting her friends. She was an athlete. She played softball, Girl Scouts, choir. She was just a little social, sweet, little artistic girl walking down a very busy road. Now, isn't that odd? To the Burger Barn. So what happened that evening is her mom got worried about her, and she went to go pick her up later on into that evening. And they said she never made it. So she had never made it to the Burger Barn. The manager said, she didn't make it in. So that's when her mother and father, the next day, they thought, well, maybe she's with friends. But the next day is when they called in and got worried, because that was unlike her character. This was not a bad girl at all. So that's her. Now, this is the age progressed image that might lead to her. And she vanished from Spring 14 years ago. Now, as you all recall, we did a story a couple weeks ago, where the aged progression looked like the lady that had been found 50 years later, 40 years later. So, just get her missing poster and share it all over social media. So let's take a look at her chart. And like I said, usually if you're new to the show, I take the calculations on the astrology chart and I compose a map out of it, out of the coordinates, where the planets were, the bearings, the mileage from how far the person was away. But I didn't do it on this because I had the wrong time on the other chart. This is the wrong chart I did. Things happen for a real reason too. I don't know why, but let's take a look at her chart, y'all. Hi, Kath. Hi, Tammy. I'm glad you made it, Miss Tammy. Miss Tammy is down. Tammy does search and rescue. This is down in your area, Tammy, in Spring, Texas. Thanks, Kathy. Didn't realize. Thanks for texting her, Kath. So short. Yeah. So short. Hi, hon. How are you, Crystal? Hi, Tammy. Yeah, she was taking care of her ducks. Okay, she's got her animals. Okay, we use what we call event charts. If you'll notice, it is, okay, it's 4 hours from me, 4 to 5 hours from Tammy. April, the time that she was last seen, the last text on her phone, 2:57 p.m., Spring, Texas. It is called an event chart. It is not a natal chart. It is different than an event chart. Oh, so short. Yeah. Very short. The mileage on this as her ascendant is 2 miles. So that could be you know what? That is a quarter of a mile. 2 miles could be 0.20, 2.0. It could be 20 miles. We can look at the MC. Which is at 0. That's odd. So it's at 0. Okay. So it's a short distance. When we look at the victim, we always look at the rising sign, which are the pink arrows. So that's in Virgo. So she would be up in the 9th house because the ruler of Virgo is Mercury. So you go look at the 9th house and she's right by the sun. Okay. That's by a highway, a larger highway, right? Within the neighborhood is so she was closer to walking down out of the neighborhoods and she was closer onto the busier highway. She is right next to the sun. That can be an older man. And it also means when the sun is conjunct or very close to the victim, it's immediate danger. They are in immediate danger, like that. Okay. We're going to also look at the 2nd house, which is the moon. That's the co-ruler. That shows abduction. Okay. It's a 2nd house. Remember, 2nd house means that's where Miss Nancy Guthrie was. 2nd house. It's an abduction. That's where the general is. I have never seen more second house events in the past couple weeks. She was taken. Okay, so let's take a look at the perp. We look at the 7th house. That's Pisces. Who is the ruler of Pisces? It's Neptune. It's in the 6th house. What can that tell us? That tells us that could have been somebody that she saw every day. She's in her everyday routine. Every day. Daily routine. Somebody was watching her, that she was completely stalked, because 6th house is, make no mistake about that. They're stalked. That's the perp. Watched her. And what's funny too is Uranus is up in the 7th house. As you can see it's one that's shaped kind of like the H. That's Uranus. That's shocking. It's a sneak attack. It's quick. And it's next to Jupiter. This can also denote somebody that's kind of a fanatic, whether it could be a religious fanatic. It could be somebody that goes over the top as well. That's the perp. Okay. So we know that she knew, I believe she knew the perp. Okay. Now, what strikes me as funny is the restaurant, the Burger Shack, would be in the 5th house. That's the place that people would go. It's where they enjoy going. They're having fun. And that's where Pluto is. Malefic Pluto is connected to her. Right? Could she have possibly been picked up and said, hey, do you need a ride to the Burger Shack or wherever she was going for her check? I wonder if they checked into that. Because we've got Pluto connecting to Saturn, connecting to her, right? So there's her danger. And when we look at the 9th house, we know we're by a highway, by a wooded area. There's woods around that area as well. And the hard thing about 2010 is we think, oh, wow, well, what about cameras? Well, there weren't cameras back then, right? There were not cameras back then. So we're by a wooded area. But here's what I don't like. Okay, so but we've also got up in the midheaven is Venus. A female knows something connected to the perp. Look at the 10th house. A female knows something. 2 people are up in the 10th house. Right? That gives us the female and the perp. Female knows something. But what I don't like to see is Mars in the 12th house. Anytime we have something in the 12th house, she is hidden. Okay? So she's hidden. So I don't like that, but hidden by that older man. I'm going to look more up to it. And like I said, I'm going to give my contact the map. And if the contact says, sure, you can release the map, I will, because they may want to search. You know how that goes. Sometimes when we see things in the 9th house, it could be where she was moved. Very, very, where the 9th house tells us that she could have possibly been moved from her original place. And she's hidden. But surprise, and you know, also that Uranus is just like an attack, a very quick attack. This is definitely somebody that was watching her, that knew her, maybe from school. We don't know. Maybe from school, maybe from the Burger Shack, you know. But I think a car was involved. Now, Mercury could be a car. Mars can be a car as well, okay? Mars can be a car, hidden in a car. 12th house. That's me just kind of winging it because I had the wrong date on there. But yes, I agree with that, Lee. She felt comfortable getting into the car. Well, yeah, who wouldn't if you know them? If it's somebody that you went to school with, if it's somebody you worked with, if it's somebody that you know, sure, give me a ride up to the. And the thing about it is, the little burger place was not that far away. It wasn't even a mile. So somebody, and this was in the middle of the afternoon. You just don't vanish like that. It's crazy. Okay, here. Oh, okay. Crystal's got some info. It was a quarter of a mile walk from bus to Burger Barn on a busy road alone. Would have, yes, somebody would have seen something. She would have screamed. Somebody would have heard something. I wonder if anybody said, hey, I saw her getting into a car. But we have to remember, too, in 2010, we didn't have the social media access like we do today, where, like, look at Miss Nancy Guthrie's case, for example. That was out within minutes. Oh, we get our information so quickly now with missing persons cases. It's almost like this could not they couldn't have gotten away with this in 2026 that they did in 2010. Because by now, somebody would have taken a picture or her phone would have pinged or whatever. And I wonder if they ever did do any analysis on her phone. I don't know. But I'm going to map it. Yeah. Took her to the closest and most secluded park area. Taurus is a wooded area by a highway. And Keith says, and they're using their intuition, is there a pet shop close that sells tropical fish? Pets, small pets would be the 6th house. Do you think he sold the fish? Because he's in the 6th house. Wonder if there was a pet store close by. I'll look tomorrow. Hi, Miss Linda. How are you? We're looking at our case. And Keith says Ford made the Mercury branch of vehicles. Yeah. Could be a Mercury. Nancy's case needs FBI canines, concrete. Nancy's case needs just a search. Just a good old-fashioned search. Nancy's case needs just a search. And Cajun Navy offered to do it. One of the most professional search groups out there. They know what they're doing. They're like you all. They're like Peace River. They're like all the other search and rescue groups. And they offered to do it for nothing. And the sheriff turned them down. They did. Okay. Why her case, why they didn't do an immediate search on Nancy Guthrie's is beyond me. Beyond me. This is interesting. Yeah. It was a quarter of a mile walk from bus to Burger Barn on a busy road alone. Would have seen something if she was uncomfortable. It was the middle of the day. And it's a busy road. But would anybody have paid attention, back at that time, if somebody would have pulled over and said, hey, you want to ride? Hop on in. I'm going to get my check. Well, I'm headed that way. I'll give you a ride. That would have taken seconds. But to abduct somebody, and if they're screaming on a busy road, I would assume somebody would hear it. And I'm just thinking out loud. Just thinking out loud. She felt comfortable getting into a car. And Lee says could be jealousy case. Oh, well, this is what the chart is saying, hon. 100% spot on with what I was feeling. And that's what that I'm just reading the chart. Really. And I'm going to look up a lot more tomorrow. I feel horrible that I did the wrong chart and I've got pages, but that's okay. That's okay too. And Saturday I was going to look for victims of Meza in Austin, but weather is canceling. Yeah, got some nasty storms coming up. That I would think EquiSearch would be doing that one. That's personal for them. That guy from like 50 years ago, that's personal for them. But does anybody, aquariums, not a, right, like a fish. Yeah, like a fish store. Yeah, like a fish store. Like a fish shop. I'll look. Share. Oh, they're recalling him. He's getting a recall apparently or something. I don't know. It's a shame. Crystal, does anybody want to add anything to this story? Get any other feelings? I remember 2010, the kids used Snapchat and the photos disappeared. No expert on those apps, but I think that's what it did. Correct. And I know that they had the Snapchats with the Delphi case, and they got those. I would hope they could get them now. The thing about it is, nothing on the internet ever disappears. Nothing on the internet disappears ever. Don't let them kid you. Nothing ever disappears. They got it all. They get it all. But I remember that too with Snapchat. Oh, yeah. The kids thought it was really sneaky. They thought they would disappear. Sure. But this is her story. And like I said, I will, again, here is her story. 2:30 on April 26th, middle of the afternoon. A very busy road. And she had been off of the bus for 10 minutes. So she had been walking for about 10 minutes, what would put her fairly close to, that will put her fairly close to where she was headed, to her job. They never found anything, to the burger barn. She had not made it to pick up her paycheck. So she never made it to the burger barn. That we know. So it's such a mystery to think that during the day, a busy street, and nobody saw anything. Nobody saw anything. You know what? Perhaps if we all started sharing this around again, y'all, maybe somebody will have their mind refreshed. Maybe somebody didn't hear about it. I think it's worth a try that we just continue to share her. I'll post this on my Facebook page, and I'll post it on my Facebook page. And let's just start sharing it around. And like I said, I'll map it and let's try to get her mother some closure. Is that for y'all that are from Texas? Do in Texas, is that like a area that's desert? Is that an area around in Texas where there's like flat land and a desert? Is it? Feel like they need to look closer to home, interview people, and expand on coaches, pastors, etc. Yes, older. Somebody that knew. Teachers, coaches, teachers, pastors, teachers, people, janitors from the school, anything. If they could still find the people, let's see, it's 15 years or so, maybe they could still do some searching. It seems like it's a small area that people probably don't move out of. They probably are still there. I agree with that completely. Yeah, it was somebody I think she knew for sure with that sixth house. Yeah, they were watching her. They were watching her. That's the sad part about that. So, does anybody else have anything else to say? Oh, I missed this one. I felt immediately she knew the perk. Heavy male presence, not weight. Very masculine. Also felt religious ties. Boom. That's Jupiter. Jupiter is like kind of fanatic about it. And it could be they're like over the top religious type people. That's funny that you said that because that's exactly what the chart was saying. Exactly. Older. That's interesting. Not wrong with Snapchat. It was like a year ago I found out about Snapchat. Adam, you just found out about it. Oh, talking about Jack. They do need to look closer, don't they? Snapchat. The kids had it in that area. Keep seeing water, but not like a lake or a river. There's a lot of sandy areas in Texas. Yeah. I was kind of picturing like with Miss Guthrie that, a lot of the scenery in Arizona. And I thought, I wonder if Texas kind of looks like that as well, with a lot of the just vast land and critters and vast land and desert, I'm going to map it. I'm going to map it for sure. Does anybody else have anything else they want to add add to anything? The UFOs, and I'm gonna map this and look some more stuff up with Kirsty's book. Like I said, I always do reference with Kirsty McIntosh's book for more details because they're excellent. But the mapping should be able to help them search a little. Should be able, because she didn't go that far. And I know where she got off at the bus, and I can kind of guesstimate about a 10-minute walk. So I'll be able to map this one. I'll be able to map this very well. I'll map it. So does anybody else have anything to add about the 9 UFO people? What do y'all think? Do you think it's a coincidence, or do y'all think that it's not a coincidence that the people disappeared like that? We're going to cover that next week, and I will update you guys more on Allie's case if we get any more information. Most of Texas is a desert. living here in Texas, I can vouch for that. Does it look a lot like it did in does it look a lot like Arizona, you guys? In Lee, did a blue car come up? I don't know, hun. I don't know, but I can put that. I'll put that on the map. I don't know. Let me see what house that car. Let's see if the chart will tell us what the color of a car. It would be like a green. Okay, if let's say it was her car, the car, it could have been green or greenish blue with Taurus if it was Mercury. And Mars can also be a car, and Leo would be like a gold car. A gold car, or it could be green or blue with Taurus. Taurus would be more of a greenish bluish. Not a coincidence. I don't think so either. Okay, so this is what it is, Tammy. Do you remember the last show we were looking for General McCaslin, who worked at Wright Pat Air Force Base? He had retired, and also he had worked in the weaponry and the UFO. He was the major general over everything, $1 billion budget, and he just went missing. Just up and went missing in the desert. Remember that case? And now 9 people have gone missing that were either associated with them, that were associated with the Defense Department, or knew the same people involved. There's 9 of them. So it's a little bit weird. Okay, Keith is saying a Ford Taurus. Chrysler. Lee says Chrysler. Mechanic shop. Jack Mechanic. Could be. Shake my head. That's all right. That's okay, Keith. You know, I wonder if it's in the file that they did ask for witnesses. Did they go around and canvass and say, hey, did anybody see any cars? Anything? That would be interesting to find out if they canvassed the neighbor. I mean, geez, it's not a big area. You know, back in those days, they treated missing young women as runaways, even though the parents would say, no, they wouldn't run away. This wasn't in there. It wasn't how they were. It's like they almost didn't believe the parents, which is a darn shame. I'll keep working on this one and keep you all posted, because they need to find this little girl. There are those out there in power that don't want the disclosure to happen. Oh, yeah. Okay, here we go. 2 boys confirmed she was walking toward the burger barn. Did they ever look at the 2 boys? Were they younger boys? Were they younger kids, I wonder? I wonder if they checked them out. You need to realize there's a lot of UFOs. Yeah, there's UFOs everywhere, too. I imagine. We're going to find out about the UFOs. They're declassing everything, so hopefully we'll get to find out some information. I live about an hour from that hangar 58 or 59 or whatever it is. Oh, okay. School age with her on the bus. Really? That's interesting, too. Huh. And they didn't see anything? Did they go in a different direction? I wonder. Or did they just see her walking towards the burger barn? And then I wonder if they have alibis too. It's crazy. People just don't disappear like this. This should have been solved. This case should have been solved. But it's a sad case for her mom. Area 51. Okay. Hey, what's up, wild man? How are you? How's things going? How's things going? Hey, we'll have to we'll have to go up to that Area 51 if they start releasing all kinds of information, and we'll go in there and break in. We'll break into Area 51. We won't get caught. They walked toward the houses, and she went toward the busy road. Yeah, that's the ninth. That's the ninth house. That's the busy road. She got in a car. Somebody she knew. I imagine. I have to keep looking at it. We'll stay on it. We all have everybody. Does anybody else have anything they want to add? I can't wait for the moon stuff. I'm going to watch the moon stuff when I get off here and watch that, see if we got live stuff on that. That'll be interesting to keep track of. Have a great full moon. It's full moon about 10 o'clock in Libra. Pink moon. And they went to the moon today. So wish them luck. Have a great Easter, everybody. Have a great holiday. Oh, yeah. Well, I'll keep you updated. Oh, you're more than welcome. Everybody, you too, Denise. Everybody have a happy, happy Easter. We're not doing anything. Oh, here we go. People threatened to do that a few years ago. I'm right there. They moved the stuff out of Area 51. I'll bet they didn't. Probably moved it to Kentucky. Nothing gets found in Kentucky. But have a great Easter, everybody. We're going to check into this a lot more next week with the 9 of them. It's a mystery. I believe it's all connected. 9 people and with that caliber don't all disappear or become, unalive that quick. So everybody have a great Easter. Thanks a million for tuning in. I appreciate it. Happy, happy Easter. Right, Pat? Yeah. We used to go up to Right, Pat every year for school field trips. What we didn't know that was like the place where they put the aliens. We had no idea. We were wandering around it. So we all have a great Easter. Thanks a million for tuning in, and I will see you guys next week. So watch the weather this week and have a great Easter. Thanks for tuning in. Good night.